Well, it's a Halloween edition of the Clan Chat. It is Murph and Morgie from the Captain's Boaty and from North County, Dublin. Wish I was next to you because I know practice has been intense this week, Coach. So just talk about a little bit about the week leading up to the Guildford Flames home and away.
Yeah, I mean, today we started off with a video session, some good teaching clips from our previous game there in Belfast, and then today we start to ease into Guildford preparation. Then we'll continue that tomorrow with pre-scout and on into tomorrow's practice.
And obviously, Reed Petrick came in last week, but with the long travel from Edmonton, Alberta, I mean, he was almost in the air for 17 or 18 hours through all the stops. Obviously, we weren't going to put him into a situation where he wasn't ready or maybe jet lagged, but he's ready to go this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I think Petey, I gave him the option. I thought if he could get some rest on the plane, I gave him the option to join us for a pregame skate the day he landed, but no, he was feeling pretty groggy, so he just went right to the hotel and he got caught up in his rest, and he didn't join us. I just told him to stay home from the Belfast trip and rest up for the upcoming week of practice. And then excited to have him in the lineup against Guildford. He's he's a high end talent. He's got a great resume. He's played over 200 games in the American League. So I think a player with that resume, you don't get to that level unless you're doing something right. So just watching him a couple of days in practice, he's his attention to detail and his positioning and the way he thinks, the quickness, the way he thinks the game is what most impressed me.
And of course, you and I have talked about the camaraderie in the room and how it really is a good room. And I know teams say that, but we really mean it. And the way it's panned out is he kind of gone in there and been taken under the wings by some of the leaders like Solzy and Dice.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he hopped right into a supporters club Halloween party, so that was nice for him. I don't think there's any better way than to have a night where all the guys are together and get to chat with everybody. And so I think that was important for him to fit into the group. And I mean, he's just his personality. I think he easily fits into their dressing room, so no problems there.
Is there any sort of update on two other guys that bring a real high-end offensive output to our lineup when the going is good? I mean, Charlie Colmes, unfortunately, just 7 or 8 minutes in preseason, and you couldn't make it up. Matt Barry arrives, plays really well against Coventry, and then has to have an emergency procedure. So how are Colmesy and Barzy doing?
Yeah, I think they're both. They're both in different stages of their rehab, like the time frame as far as that goes. I think with Colmesy, just on the location of the injury, the severity of it, it's something that you don't want to rush. I think those high groin injuries can nag you all season if you don't take care of them properly. But he's making progress. So I think, as far as the timeline there, I think he's got to go through the strengthening stage off the ice, conditioning stage off the ice, and then slowly build it on the ice. And so he's, I think daily progress. I see he's on the ice with us in a tracksuit, just skating around, keeping his hands going at least. And then Barzy, obviously just coming off that freak surgery and unfortunate timing for him just after his first game and having to go into the hospital to have that procedure. It was crazy. And then obviously they thought it could be, a simple, the keyhole scope, and it they had to open him up with the appendix being so infected. So I think his time frame, because they had to cut through the stomach wall and the muscles, will be a little bit longer than we had hoped. But he's feeling good too. I think a couple of days ago he said he was on the bike, so I think he felt fatigued after that and pretty pretty exhausted. But that's a process. I think that it'll go through the doctor and our rehab. Obviously with Kirsty keeping a close eye on him. So both, I think, making progress. And I mean, I'd love to have them both in the lineup, but it's how it goes in the game, and adversity just makes you stronger as a group.
Well, we will have Reed Petrick going this weekend and soon to follow, hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, you couldn't make it up, and we won't say the player or players, but we had a food poisoning situation last weekend as well. So guys have had a little bit of a war in the health regard over the last few weeks, but seems to be going in the right direction for this weekend. Something you must be happy about in league play is certainly both the power play and the penalty kill, Morgie.
Yeah, I mean, I think with how close the game is officiated nowadays, like how fast it is, and the amount of infractions, special teams play a huge role. And I think we kind of recruited some guys that specialize in certain areas, and you see a lot of games now won and lost on special teams. So definitely a big focus of ours, and the guys have been buying in, and when they're counted on, I think there's a number of guys on both sides, the power play and the PK, that aren't on it that could be on it. So I think we have a lot of depth there, and sometimes it's trial and error to find the right chemistry and moving pieces around, and then obviously based on injuries, some key, important pieces, offensive guys out that other guys have stepped in and filled that role, to the best of their ability, and it's working. So yeah, no, definitely a big part of the game, and definitely pleased with that side of it.
Yeah, the power play in league play is ranked second amongst the 10 teams, 28.6, and our penalty kill is tied for fourth or fifth at 80%. So the special teams going well. Something that's important, and you and I talk about it a lot, we've got some really good centermen, 54.7% in the faceoff dot in league play, and in the cup we're over 56%. So the centermen are really doing a job making sure we start off with the puck.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, just face-offs aren't solely the centerman's responsibility. I think it's five guys on the ice, and getting the wingers in there to help out, or if it's a D gapping up on a loose puck or whatever the case is. But it just shows that it's the first one-on-one puck battle of each shift, and so that goes to show you too, just our compete level as a group, and we're dialed in and focused right from the puck drop. And yeah, we do have good centermen, and that obviously is. That helps the process, but it is the wingers got to get in there too, and box out and help on those loose pucks, and we've been doing a great job so far at it.
A guy we're going to have to get on Clan Chat. He's definitely an elusive character at times. Is your good buddy Jeff Bata. So Bats doesn't like the limelight, but just talk. It's important, right? Because the Clan have never had a full-time sort of assistant coach and a goalie coach and a video assistant coach. Like Bats wears many hats, wears them very well. So just a little tip of the cap to some of the unsung work that goes on behind the scenes from Coach Bata.
Yeah, I mean, like he's in every day early. He does all the cutting of the video for me, which is a big help. I focus on the special team stuff, and he does all the rest 5-on-5, having anything I need available when asked upon, and for our pre-scouts. So a lot of hours go into anyone that cuts games and tags games. A lot of hours goes into that, and especially when you have those weekday games, and plus back-to-back games on the weekend. So endless hours for him doing video, and then also he's the goalie coach. He goes on every day 15 20 minutes early with shooters, and works on a variety of drills, so the goalies are fully warm and at the top of their level to start practice. So and obviously he takes care of running the decor based on kind of what I lay out as far as our game plan. He runs the decor during the game, so definitely a big help. And obviously, fortunate to have the resources to bring in somebody of his caliber, and I think it's been a great team so far.
Yeah, he's already been acknowledged by the Ice Hockey UK brass. He will be helping out with some GB under 20 work as well. So we're very lucky to have Coach Bata, despite the fact he will probably not want to appear on Clan Chat, but I'll have to twist his arm at some point.
Headlock him when they get him up there.
Yeah, we'll just have to tempt him somehow. But it's important, and I bring that up because look, there's been mixed results. We've had some overtimes and some shootouts. We've had some good results in the cup, and if fans are feeling a little bit like, oh, maybe it's not the start we wanted, the process. We need to trust the process. It's the work that goes on in behind the scenes. And you've often texted me at 11, 12 o'clock at night, going, I'm looking at this video clip. Check this out. And so the work that goes on to get to where we need to be, it's not a magic wand where you just come in and you run the table and be top of the league and win your cup group. I mean, the Belfast Giants didn't do that in year 1, year 2, year 3. So I think we're in a good position. I know Bryce Reddick has done an article with Ando saying, look, I like where we are. We need to trust the process. And is that a fair assessment, Morgan?
Yeah, I think that's a very important word in the game of hockey is trust, and I think with so many new variables this year, with the coaching staff, new ownership, yourself, advisor to the owner, and myself in hockey ops, and so many new players to not only Europe but to the league, and just a full new group. I mean, we've gelled off the ice from day one, but it takes time to come in. And then, like you mentioned earlier, with all the adversity we've had to overcome, and I mean, every team has injuries and goes through it, but it seemed like it was just like one after another. And but it is part of the process, and it's repetition of the process. So every week we're building on those details and create our identity and to stick within that. And I think every game we're seeing stretches of high quality play for longer durations, and it is coming. And some of these one goal losses we turn into wins, like it's not even a discussion. And I mean, but we're right there. We've played all the top teams in the league, and Guildford, another high quality opponent we're going to face for the first time. So I think it is the trust factor, and you gotta come to the rink every day with the trust, the buy-in to work hard and just to become better as a group. And I think if you take care of your individual, you're accountable for your own individual play and work ethic, then that'll just make the team stronger as a whole. And that's what we do daily. We come to the rink every day enthusiastic to work hard and to trust the process, and the rest happens naturally, so to speak.
And let's just talk about Guildford. I mean, they've not had the start. I mean, this is a team that led the league right up until the last few weeks of the season last year. Usually a high octane offense. They've struggled a little bit. They've made some changes. There's rumors of more changes to come, possibly ahead of the weekend. What do you expect from Paul Dixon's side this weekend, home and away?
Yeah, I don't think that. I think the league's a lot tighter than people think outside the league, and now being in it, it's definitely a lot tighter. I think on any given night, anybody can beat anybody, and so you can never underestimate any team. I think every time you step on the ice, it's 0-0 to start the game, and both teams have equal chance to win. So it's again trusting the process, our game plan, and stick with it for 60 minutes, and at the end, whoever had the better game wins.
Any message to the Purple Army as we head into our spooktacular Halloween weekend? Saturday night, clanihc.com for tickets and the webcast, and certainly we'll be at the Spectrum Sunday. But any word to the Purple Army?
No, just to keep showing your support. It's a great environment to stand in our rink with the Purple Army behind us, and they give us so much enthusiasm and energy, in the building. And I think that's so important, especially on home ice. Kind of gives you that extra home ice advantage, and so just to keep supporting the club the way they've done over the years, and that I've witnessed this year, and it's great to see, and it's great to be a part of.
And you didn't get to the OSC, the Supporters Club Halloween party. Is that because you didn't have a costume, or will you don a costume this weekend, Morgie?
No, I've been to many of those as players. Those are for the players. It's I find they get together and let loose a little bit more when the coaching staff is in there, and that was more for the players. And as far as this weekend, I don't know if I'll support anything other than my suit. I'll go as a showcase coach. How about that?
Yeah, you go as this. Well, you're a good dresser. I was hoping you and Bats would show up as maybe dressed as the Hanson brothers, who owned the Chiefs, and we could go from there. But look, thanks for taking the time. Best of luck this weekend, both home and away against the Guildford Flames, and I'll see you the following week at the arena. But best of luck this weekend, and have a great Halloween.
All right, appreciate it, Murph or Jason or whatever your name is.